think we're ready to go. I have Floobies and cross stitch and the bulletin board, ridiculous snacks from Amazon, water, the cat has joined me, plus knitting. We're ready to roll. Hey guys, how are you this week? I'm doing pretty good. Still suffering a little bit from the death cold, but I think we've moved on from death cold 1 to like maybe I'm starting on cold number 3 for the season. Like I say, those students, they go home for winter break, share their germs, you know, all mixing pot, bring back new germs. And for like the first 4 or 5 weeks of the semester, I just have a cough and I'm congested and just hanging in there, my friends. I am hanging in there. Doing pretty good. Didn't get a lot done with my new raid team. I found I spent a little more time in World of Warcraft running around doing things, but I'll talk to that later, whichever way later is. Progress report. I just worked on one cross-stitch thing this week, and that was Be Your Own Kind of Beautiful by Lizzie Kate. This is for my Stitch and Give project for the Arizona Stitch Nanigans retreat. I'm so excited for that, you guys. It is the 1st of February, and that's in the middle of April, so I guess that makes it 2.5 months. I know, right? I'm excited. I'm excited. Can you tell? No, not at all. Serious all the way. Anyway, here is my project progress on this little thing. And I am, let's see, I'm stitching it 1/2 on a 40 count. Picture this plus linen. I think it's either blush or bashful, one of those two. And the other name belongs to an R&R linen that I also have in my stash somewhere. So this is either blush or bashful, but it's a very light pink, very soft, very beautiful. I like how my the flosses are popping off of there pretty good, and I just love how the Floss for Beautiful just stands out. Anyway, so I added, let's see, I finished off the top flower over here on this side, and I put in all the little doohickeys over there, plus the heart and the K and the I for kind. So I'm really enjoying how this is coming along. It's nice. It's easy. It's really pretty, you guys. I'm really quite happy with this. I think I'm gonna give it a bit of an iron. You can kind of see there where it's creased in the middle, because when I wanted to find the center when I was starting, I just folded it in half and half and then gave it a pinch, and the pinch isn't letting go. So I took it out of the hoop and brought it home. I'm going to give it just a little bit of an iron to get that crease out of it before it really has time to set. So that is where I am with my cross stitch. I thought a lot about stitching on Celtic Christmas, but I didn't get around to it. I did go to Michael's the other day, and I did buy that one floss I was missing, so I can finish in the gold on the hem of her dress. But I haven't actually done anything on it. I thought quite a bit about working on her. I just didn't get it done. So there's that. All right, let's reshuffle the stuff before we move on. Oh, yarn. I know, probably maybe not last time, but maybe the time before, I told you that I had finished. Let's get out the pattern so you can see the Winter Brunch shawl from Laurel Chau. This is a pattern that is available on the Ravelry for those of you who do the knits. I finished it all off, and it was before I had blocked it out, and I said we were going to block it lightly. So on Friday, I was over to my parents' house, and I had this with me, and I dropped it off. Was talking to Mom. I said, it just needs to be blocked a little bit. We don't need to aggressively block it or give it a huge stretch. So she actually did it for me. I ended up staying here at the house on Saturday. I didn't go over there to block it. So she blocked it for me, and we just did a simple triangle. Let's see, tie this around. Looked like a fool on camera, but you know, if you're doing the floss tubes, you expect the foolishness, right? Right. There we go. Tuck this under. So, the benefit of blocking, I have a snag on my finger now. I'm going to have to fix that. Anyway, the benefits of blocking for this one is, like I said, I just wanted the lattice work to open up a little bit, and so it did. But in addition, it's given the yarn, it was soft before, it is really soft now. It's also relaxed it a little bit. Beforehand it was extra super stiff, and I really couldn't get it, you know, wrapped around me like this. And so now it's wrapped around, and it's absolutely fantastic. It would be the perfect scarfy shawl cowl thing to wrap up around you if you were in the polar vortex, which I missed. We didn't get it here in Utah. Because see, bring it up over your nose, peek out. Oh, it's a wonderful thing. I absolutely love it. So there you go. It is finished, as we say in cross stitch. But it is also hot. So I'm going to take it off. The other project that I am working on for knits is the Impressionist MKAL by Helen Stewart. And this was a project that went off last summer, and I sort of waited until it was done before deciding that I would like to knit it as well. So I have been working on that a little bit. Right now it is just lots and lots of garter stitch. You can see my little marker right there. That's where I was the last time I showed you. This one just denotes the center of the pattern, and I just have a couple of these on here right now so I can make sure that I have the right count of stitches on the needle without having to count to 200 and whatever over and over again. I was happily working on garter stitch, and you can see how there's a little row of simple eyelets right here. Well, there's supposed to be a row kind of up in here, but I was just trucking away doing garter stitch, back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth, rotating my colors, having a good time, and I forgot that one row of eyelets. Oops. Oh well. I figured since most people probably wouldn't have read the pattern, they wouldn't know that a set of eyelet stitches are missing, so I just left it out. It's a customization and is perfectly legitimate. So there is that. What yarn am I? This is a random yarn that I got off of Etsy. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I wrote that down on I'll put it down with all the other details about my projects. You know how I put details about my projects in the description box below, so just hit the show more, scroll down. I put lots of wonderful information. Well, I don't know if it's wonderful, but lots of stuff goes in the description box below the video. So hit show more and you will see a little bit more. Let's see, now on to purchases, because I'm crazy. And a little purchase almost always happens. I'm trying to be better, guys. I really am. So we'll go with the non-fun, but I don't know, still fun but necessities. I got a second set of 32 and 24 inch interchangeable needles for my Hiya interchangeable set. Not needles. What are these things called? Cords for my Hiya set. Because I'm looking at doing something in the round, so I'm going to do it with the 2 needles on loop. It's not the magic loop, but sort of like magic loop, but with two needles. Anyway, you knitters know what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm planning to do. And then I bought some more Miss Babs, because you know me and my Lady Babs. This is all on the Yummy 2-ply base. The first one I am going to show you is called Like Never Before, and when it's arrived I thought it's a little more green than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be slightly more softly blue, but it's just just kind of more on the green side of green-blue. It doesn't make it any less beautiful, but not quite what I thought it was, which is okay. I didn't have a serious plan for it, but I thought that was pretty, and it needed to come home and live with me. So there is that. I have a basket of yarn over there. I'm just pitching it in. This is Giant Granadilla, and it is a lovely yellow with some greens and some purples in it. And since I have a lot of purple, I thought this would be lovely as a contrast color in a shawl that was mostly purple. So we'll see. When I got it and look at it, it's a little more gray than I had expected. I would say like dirty, but it's not dirty. But you know how colors can appear clear or with a slightly gray cast to them or slightly dirty. So I would say to my eyes in natural light, it's a little more dirty than what I thought it would be, but still a lovely yellow. And now these two arrived and were a lot prettier than I thought that they would be. So this is Franz Mark, also Yummy 2-ply, Miss Babs, and this is just gorgeous. I mean, just lovely purples, a soft purple. It definitely has a nice pink undertone to it, in addition to the purples and blues, and anyway, it's lovely. And then to go along with that is, I don't know, Heart de Hélène. It's a really soft purpley pink, right there on the border between purple and pink, and it hangs out with this other one just so beautifully, so well. I think they're going to have to go into a project together, which, looking at the website, I thought that they would get along really nicely. Oh, that's the one I already showed you. Anyway, so here is this gorgeous, yummy, delicious little bit of fluff. So there is that. It's absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait until I finish a project so I can cast something on with these guys. I've been trolling the Ravelry, looking at all the free patterns, because sometimes they come up and are free, and there's like a couple of patterns that I have in mind that I want to start right away. So there you have it. So that is everything for O Yarn. So I'll tidy up and we'll be right back. So Adventures in Bulletin Board, I brought the bulletin board back for January, and so I will insert a little clip of that one so you can see what I got up to for January. Well, here we are in the normal old lighting of the craft room annex, and here is the bulletin board for January. The polar bears that gave such joy to the sister in my ward. I pulled off the birthdays. There was a snowflake right here that had our welcome to our new members right there that I took off because it had somebody's name on it. Then down here, more polar bears, more snowflakes. I thought this one turned out really well. I made so much more for the board, but it turned out there was no farewells, one welcome, no babies, and just the birthdays. So it turned out simple, really cute. I certainly enjoyed it very much. Now it's time to take it all apart and get after doing 100 majillion hearts for February. Oh boy. I received the nicest call from a lady in the ward the other day who told me how much she had enjoyed seeing the polar bears on the January bulletin board. And she proceeded to tell me a story how some time ago she and her husband had gone up north somewhere, either in Alaska or over towards the east side of Canada. I forget, I'm terrible. Anyway, and had seen the polar bears and how they were just absolutely in love with these magnificent animals and had really enjoyed their time in the north observing the polar bears, and how I had brought joy to her Sunday weeks when she'd come in and into the classroom and see the bulletin board with the little panda, or not pandas, and the polar bears, and she really enjoyed them. So at least I have brightened someone's day this month. So that makes me happy, quite pleased. And then on Friday, I guess it was, my sister and I went out hunting for paper, and we went to all the craft shops. No, that's a lie. We just went to Michael's. Michael's is not all the craft shops, but they had this brand on sale for $6, and so normally they're marketed at, you know, $20 for the pad. I'm not paying that, and so they're almost always 70% off, so you know that's really the price that they are, and you shouldn't pay anything else. So I'm really excited. There are some, I can't use that one, or that one, or that one, or that one. Of course, it's going to show you, I mean, it's a darling, but I mean, this will be wonderful for the bulletin board. This is a great one. Not that one. Lovely pinks. Love that. That'll definitely be used. Avocados, ice creams, can't use that. Roller skates, cute, can't use it. Love that. Won't be using that one. The rainbows, I think I can get away using those in March. That's just fun, so I think I can do that. Not that one. This one. And this one, I think, will be just adorable to put the baby announcements for the months on this one, you know, and have all the babies on there with those cute little love dogs at the bottom. Oh, so cute. I can use that. And I don't think I'll use that. It's a little too big. The pink rainbows. But anyway, so those are my plans for the bulletin board this upcoming month. And I'm kind of looking forward to sitting down this week and cutting and pasting and gluing and stapling and doing all the things to get my bulletin board all put together. So there's that. So many Floobies, you guys. Absolutely so many wonderful new people joining the Flosstube community. I watched a lot, so I'll go through my list of the folks who I got to see this week. There are several more who I know I have missed. I'm trying so desperately to get caught up and watch all of you. And it's slowly not becoming possible at all for me to watch anybody anymore. I've had to start, I've been watching you at 2x speed for a long, long time. And then I have quit watching any Stitch With Me's or Craft With Me's for a long, long time because my time is valuable and there are so many of you. And I can't possibly get to everybody, and especially since now I'm adding yarn podcasts to the whole thing. Oh my goodness, so I apologize if you have a mention of me or call me out or something and I don't respond. It's probably because I didn't get to your video this week. I know that my watch later list has about 90 people on it, and that is just from Saturday and Sunday. I need to go through my subscriptions and figure out who was the last person to add to watch later, and then just go through and add all the Monday people and the Tuesday people, because it'll probably be Tuesday morning before I start this. And I watch you while I'm at work, and I watch you when I'm at home, and you guys are with me all of the time. All the time. So anyway, that being said, let's meet this week's batch of wonderful new Floobies. Ellis Jones from Stitching Ellis and Anne. They're a mother-daughter team from the UK, and they are working on several country cottage needleworks and little house needleworks patterns, and both were a delight. Rustic Threads gives us a lovely intro in stitching history. Beautiful and a wide variety of projects, some that are in process and some that were shared. Of course, go check her out as well. Stitchy Bug, I found her at video number 2 where she shows all of her whips, so a whip parade, woohoo, and she has some absolutely fantastic projects, so go check her out. Alpha Stitchery, I also met her at video 2. She shares her My Little Pony Stitchies progress, and they're so cute. She's working on those for her daughters with all sorts of wonderful other projects, and she is in the Magical Stitches and Literature cult, which is what you guys are, because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one not magical literaturing or stitching. Not in the cult. Anyway, check her out. Kaz Stitches. She shows off some of her finishes. One of them is the beautiful, gorgeous Fox Girl. I love those gorgeous series. I haven't bought any of them. And with my stash, I probably shouldn't because I got a lot of stuff. Anyway, she's working on a Haid and has some wonderful progress on that and other lovely projects. Wander over, tell her hello. Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. She is a fabric smith and quilter. She returns to stitching after learning how as a youngster. She starts off with the Little House Needleworks Winter ABCs and shares several projects, kits and patterns and things from what she refers to as her box of awesome, which was a box that her, I'm going to get it wrong. It's either her sister or her sister-in-law gave to her for Christmas. So she has a box of awesome and she's just so overjoyed with the hobby. So go and say hello. And then I met Eclectic Reads. He's been doing book reviews for quite some time and has learned to stitch and decided to join Flosstube and share what he's into. He gives us a lovely intro and shares some great projects. He is definitely into stitching the big projects, Haids and Tilton Crafts and stuff. So everybody go say hello. Kim Hollenbach. She is Spartan Stitcher from Instagram, so I'm sure all of you already have found her. She joins Flosstube, gives us an intro to herself, and a whip parade! Lovely, wonderful projects, and is also a member of the Magical Literature and Stitches cult. I wrote it down one way on this page. Magical Stitches and Literature, Magical Stitches and Literature. You're the MCALs. Anyway, it's a big old cult. The MSL cult. Anyway, good video. Go check her out. Michelle Burnett, Texas Stitcher, gives a lovely intro to herself, shows several of her past fully finished projects, several of her whips, lots of projects, lots of variety. Wander by, say hello. Cricklewood Crossing. She is an Aussie living here in the U.S., as she tells us in her intro. She's a fellow Utahn. They're here because they love the outdoors, skiing and hiking and all the outdoors, which Utah has in aplenty. Anyway, she is a multi-crafter with a great variety of projects and so much enthusiasm. I can speak sometimes, barely. Next up, I met Highway Stitcher Colette Kingsley. She starts us off with the Know Your Needleworker tag and is another fellow Utahn. You can see that she is a multi-crafter. Did I say that? I don't know. Multi-crafter, and one of her crafts is bobbin lace. And up behind her, like where I have my mess, she has a couple bobbin lace projects that she's been working on. She's working on, she says, she didn't mean to, but she just happens to be stitching on a whole lot of mystery sals right now. So, wander by, say hello. Stitching the Dream. Friends team up for fun stitching and adventures. They share their starts, their whips, their insanity. It's a delightful pair. And then I met Witchy Stitchers at Video 2. They put books at the front of their video, and they talk a lot about books, my friends, but when they get down to it, they are multi-crafters, mom and daughter duo, whips and finishes shown. As always, I will have links to all of their channel pages down below. Be sure to check them out, subscribe and like to your favorites. Just go say hello. Just go say hello, make a new friend. News, notes, and nonsense. So that Amazon, I tell you what, I don't even know what I was thinking because I'm supposed to be doing much, much better on my diet this year. And I sort of am. I've added fruit into my diet where before there was 0 fruit. So that's working out well. And I'm slowly trying to not buy a lot of processed snacks. A lot of chocolate, a lot of, you know, just snacks. I love snacks. I eat off snacks more than I eat off real food. So the idea is to slowly transition to real food and less snacks. I need to get healthy. I mean, I'm getting winded walking up a flight of stairs. And if you watch my first video, you know that there was a whole heck of a lot of this happening. So, anyway, stinking Amazon, I wasn't paying attention, and my willpower was low. So I ordered a bag of the Dove Hearts, the milk chocolate ones. But that's not all. I didn't order one. I ended up ordering a package of 4. 4 of these. Not a good choice. However, I will say, if you come trick-or-treating to my house on Valentine's Day, I'm pretty well sure that I can give you a chocolate heart. See you then. Alright, the other thing, stinking Amazon. Stroop waffles. Got a package of 4 of these little boxes. What was I thinking? I don't know. Amazon. Okay. So, I have had a battle with my HOA president over this old transition thing, and now she has finally got us set up with a actual legitimate accountant, so I still feel okay sending the actual legitimate accountant my money. But somewhere in the transition phase, when we were transitioning in December from the old company to the new company, my check, which I didn't write, my bank writes the check. I process all my bills through bill pay on my bank. Depending upon how the people at the other end receive the check and how they process it, that can either transition to an electronic payment for every single payment thereafter, which happens for all my credit cards and my utility bills and, you know, my Comcast bills. So the vast majority of my bills, I sent one check, they processed it electronically, and every single other one has been an EFT or an ACH, you know, depending upon the transfer protocols used. Except for these people. They have always taken the check to the bank in the old-fashioned stodgy way, and that's just how it got paid. Now, because they were old-fashioned and stodgy, all my checks had to be cut on like the 24th, you know, 23rd, of the month, depending upon if the 24th fell on a Saturday or not. Anyway, so I had to cut my checks on the 24th to make sure they got there on the 1st of the following month so that the check could be processed properly and I wouldn't be assessed a late fee. Well, somewhere in all of this, they lost the check that was cut November 24th or thereabouts for my December fees and assessed me a late fee, and that was on my records when they transferred the records over to the new accountant. I didn't find out this until later because on the it wasn't the 24th of December that the check got caught and mailed, because we all know it was banking holiday. Anyway, but thereabouts in December, another check cut, mailed. They also lost that one, so I don't know what happened. So these 2 checks are missing. So I noticed when I got my accountant reviewing it, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to pay that late fee because I don't feel like it has been justifiably applied, because up to this point, for the 2.5 years that I have been in my home and been sending checks off to the old management company, they have never applied a late fee and they have never been late. So I sort of explained this to the new accountant. He says, you're going to have to take it up with the board. We know the board is really 1 person and 2 yes women. Anyways, alright, so I print off all my backup information, get it all nice and formatted, lay out, you know, circle the important things on the backup documentation, and in the title to my email to the board, I please waive erroneously applied late fee from FCS. Just waive the late fee. So I go in to explain that I've already just had my checks sent out on the 24th, and, you know, here's some backup that you can see that they were received on the 28th, and blah, 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 and can you just go ahead, please waive this late fee so I can, you know, put stop payments on this checks, blah, 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 and then, you know, go forward from there, happy to, you know, start from 0. And so the first thing I get back is like, well, if you didn't send them certified mail, you don't have any proof that they actually received them, and we can't waive anything. Seriously, people? Who on the face of this planet sends a bill payment by certified mail when you have never had a problem in the past 2.5 years? Plus, it's sent out by my bank. I don't know if the bank sends it certified mail. Probably not, because I'm not paying that much for the bank to do the service for me, right? I pay nothing for the service, so I doubt it's going by certified mail. So I'm like, no, no, no. If you look at this first schedule that I gave you, you know, you can see here it's like this, and you know, and for the most part, all of those payments, the bank had marked as paid as of the 28th of the same month. So of the 28th of the same month the check was cut. So the check's cut on the 24th. It's marked as paid on the 28th because I wanted it to arrive on the 28th. Why on the 28th? Because February only has 28 days and I didn't want to be in there mutzing with it all year long, having to change the date. Well, forward to the 30th or the 31st, except on the 28th, blah, blah, blah. Too much hassle. Just wanted it to arrive on the 28th. Anyway, so then she comes, so I'm like, no, here you can see that it's the 28th, we're done, it's gone, it's paid, we're fine. And then, what did she come back with? What do you mean? If the check was cashed on the, or if you sent the check on the 28th, your dues are late anyway. I'm like, no, 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 no. The 28th of October for November. The 28th of November for December. The 28th of December for January. 28th of January for February. It goes like this, okay, right? I send that off to her. I forget what she comes back with. She's still not getting it. I'm trying to explain it. Okay, blah, 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 la, 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 send that off. I think I've told her the same thing 100 different times, and she finally comes back and says, oh, you're just talking about the late fee, aren't you? Yes, woman, exactly. I'm just talking about the late fee, just like it says in the subject line of the email. Please waive erroneous late fee applied by blah, blah, blah. I can fix the missing checks. I have no idea where the old processing company lost checks. I've worked in AP. Things happen. I mean, a check gets filed, you know, misfiled, or it was sent to the wrong department, and it turns out like 3 months later. I've been in AP. I've been in AR, you know, where I'm trying to call a vendor and say, hey, where's your payment? And they're all, we cut a check on this day. Did you not get it? I didn't get it. Can you send me proof that you cut the check? And you know, when you're working businesses, every business either saves a scanned copy, an electronic copy, something of the check. So, you know, they just email that over. I can see it. Ah, perfect. Fantastic. Show me proof that you've recut that check. They do. Void it, whatever. Send it over to me. Perfect. It's not a problem. It's simple, easy accounting bookkeeping. I guess she's never worked in simple, easy bookkeeping. Pay the money, the pretty, pretty princess. Whatever. She finally gets it. Finally gets it. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to talk to the bookkeeper to see if this is adequate information to waive the late fee. At this point, I'm going like head to desk. Head to desk. The bookkeeper told me that you have to decide. Now, you're telling me that the bookkeeper has to decide? I hate you all. What most of you don't know is inside all of this is an angry, raging, vindictive person. It's a pretty good thing that I have that vindictiveness right, you know, right in control, because there's a lot of anger going on in here. Anyway, they finally get back to me. Yes, everything you've provided looks sufficient, blah, 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 blah. And then they scold me for paying by check and not electronically. I really wanted to say some choice words to those people. How dare you scold me how to pay my checks? It is how to pay my bills. It is entirely the responsibility of the people who were receiving the checks to decide how they were processing it. They can afford the software, the technology to transfer those checks into an electronic payment. This wouldn't have been a problem, but because they're too cheap to actually do it, then it ends up just being a check sent all the time. It's not... Don't you dare scold me how to pay my things. So anyway, the fee got waived. I got new invoices for the checks. I've stopped payment on the 2 checks that are heaven only knows where. And I said, sent back, okay, this is the number of the checks, you know, 6008, 6009, please, you know, if they show up, don't cash them. I've put a stop payment on them. I don't want to be applied a return check fee. Because you know that's going to happen. It always happens. Anyway, so the new one today is when we got our, you know, everybody's got their first months of February dues, you know, from the new accountant. And then I got the other 2 since they were past due. So I paid the first 2 today, just, you know, used my debit card because it's super easy. And it processes like a credit card, so I do have some fraud protection on that one. And then I get an email from the, it's a BCC, so you know they've sent it out to everyone. But anyway, so I get a BCC from the accountant saying, so we can't afford to pay the processing fees on all your credit card statements. So if you want to pay by on your credit card payments, so if you want to pay by credit card, it's going to cost you $5 a month more on your thingies. Otherwise, you can pay by ACH. Fools, this was the thing I was afraid of when we went to self-management. It's more expensive. You don't have the efficiencies of being in a bigger pool of properties. And so I'm like, so I'm going to have to fill out the ACH for the stupid people with the dumb thing and not have credit card protection on it because $5 stupid bucks. This whole thing sucks, you guys. It absolutely, I'm just really not impressed with the whole thing at all. At all. Anyway, the other thing that really annoys me is I like to set things up from my bank so that it pushes the payments out. I set the date, I set the time, I set the amount, it pushes it out. It's never been a problem. And they have it from a pool. So I have to go to their system, log into their account, type in all of my information, so they've got my information stored. I don't know if it's secure or not. My bank goes to excellent lengths to keep my information secure, and have them pull the money out of my bank when they're ready to take it. I hate that system. I hate it so much. It's just, it really annoys me. So those are the lovely, lovely battles I've been having with my stupid HOA president. This one, I think I came out half win. Half win? Yeah, half win. Anyway, let's have a drink. So for Christmas, my sister-in-law made me a great sign that says, Kay's Flosstube, and she gave it to me at Christmas, but it wasn't painted. She said, I don't know what color of paint to do it. And I said, oh, well, So we talked about it a bit and decided to paint it purple, surprise, and then maybe put some big old white dots on it, so it's kind of polka dotty, and so I'll hang it up there where my nativity scene is currently sitting. Anyway, my sister was over at sister-in-law brother's house to babysit the nieces, and she said, it looks like the sign is done. I'm so excited. Hopefully I'll get to have my sign soon, and I can hang it up back there for y'all to see and enjoy, and I'm really excited for it because it's really cool. It's not small. It's a big old thing. So that's awesomeness that is incoming. Do you guys have weird little rituals that you do that serve no real purpose, but it's just something you like to do, and just something, I don't know, I would say weird, but it's not really weird, or just, non-purposeful, just something random. So on my way to work, I drive past an intersection, and on one corner of the intersection is a McDonald's. So every day as I go by, I look up to the McDonald's and just see how long the drive-through line is. Is it close to the sign, or is it almost out into the street? Have they turned the corner and it's backing up in the street? I don't know why I do this. I think I've had breakfast at McDonald's twice in the 3 years that I've lived here. I don't know, I just always drive by the McDonald's and see how the drive-through line is doing every morning. Do you guys do weird things like that? Serves no purpose, just because you want to see what the McDonald's drive-through line is doing? Alright, so, not the last story. This story leads into another story. Anyway, so the other night I couldn't sleep. It was about midnight when I decided to go to sleep, lay down. Or maybe it was 11:30, not quite that late. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. It was bedtime. I went to lay down. As soon as I put my head on the pillow, pulled the blankets up over me, snuggled on down, the cat had settled into where she likes to sleep. Sell Out by Real Big Fish into my head. And if you've heard the song, it's a peppy ska, rockin' and rollin', everything's going, moving. It's not a soft song. It's not a lullaby that puts you to sleep. No. It starts off with ba 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 da da, ba 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 da da. Those are horns, We got the trumpets, we got the trombones, everybody's going. Seriously, brain, is this what we're going to do? So I laid down. I'm like, okay, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. The brain is not going to run us crazy. It does sometimes all night long with this. So I laid there, I was patient, I held still, I closed my eyes, and in my head. Sell out with me tonight. Sell out with me, oh yeah. Oh, come on, brain, no, stop it. So about 45 minutes later of baby, don't you sign that paper tonight, she said, but I can't work in fast food all my life. I'm like, so I got up and got out my tablet and colored and colored and colored and colored and colored and filled in all the little shapes for like an hour until it was like 1:30, I don't know, late. Good thing I paused so I can edit out the coughs. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, I'm really tired, you know, my eyes are barely awake, barely open as I'm trying to color in my little squares, the right colors, you know, color by number. And so I thought, okay, I can go to sleep now. It's all good. We're finally done. I haven't heard that song in my head for a good, you know, 20 minutes. We should be all right to lay down. So, all right, put the tablet away, you know, snuggle back into bed, lay down. First thing that comes into my mind is, we miss that guy from failed relationship. I wonder why it failed. What's going on? I miss him. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, seriously, brain, we do not need to do this right now. No, 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 no. What's he doing? No, 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 I miss him. What did I do wrong? What is that? Brain, stop. It doesn't matter. It's over. Stop. I miss him. Okay, I'm up again because obviously brain is not having any sleep tonight. It just not having any sleep tonight. So this sort of relates to, I don't know, maybe we'll throw it up right now for the, Battle Cow Adventures, even though the Battle Cow is not adventuring yet, but we're strictly into WoW content now, kids. So, the Mythic World First race is on for the newest raid that has been released. For the previous tier, only one of the super top guilds streamed their progress. Beforehand, nobody streamed anything, and you only sort of heard about it, you know, through the grapevine. Oh, you know, so-and-so is, you know, 3 out of 7, or how, anyway. So, this tier not only is one of the best guilds ever, raiders, streaming it, but so are like 4, 6, maybe somewhere between like 6 and 10 other guilds are streaming their progress to be the first people to get through this raid, which is a big dungeon, you guys. About 20 men, you know, 20 people trying to coordinate their efforts to take the big boss down at the end of the raid. So they've been streaming all week long. So I thought, well, I guess I'll turn on Twitch and see where Method. I've been watching Method. You guys, it doesn't matter. Watching Method, see where they're at. You know, they're streaming from England. It's about 2 in the morning, so launched Twitch on my tablet, turned it on, sat down, and oh hey, it's a couple of my favorite WoW podcasters are doing the commentary right now. So this is fun. So I guess we'll watch until my brain can settle in and stop doing its what happened? Why did the relationship fail? Fret, fret, fret. Oh, stop it, brain, please stop. Anyway, so cough break. The more I talk and the closer to the end we get, the more I cough. Anyway, so they started at local time London, which I think was 8 a.m. over there, which is about 2 a.m. for where I was, about 2:30, 2:15, give or take, when I tuned in. So listen to the boys do their bants, talk about this, that, and the other, tease each other, joke. I really enjoyed, I think it was JB or BJ, I forget who the other commentator is, but there, you know, there's 2 of them, so they're kind of going off each other, talking about this, talking about that. I saw them move their best effort to like 22% and then down to the 19 something or another percent. This morning when I got up, they had done to 16% and then later 11%. So they're really working on it. They're getting close. So yeah, I just watched them, and about 4 a.m. I guess it was, I finally put my tablet on the dresser, just really kind of snuggled in, so I'm listening to Mike and JB, I think it was. Mike and JB talk Mythic WoW, and I'm just kind of half asleep, half awake, and I must have fallen asleep because it was like 5 a.m. the next thing I know, and I'm awake. I don't want to be awake. Why are we awake? It's 5 a.m. We've got an hour of sleep. Brain, I hate you. Anyway, so that was my very, very non-sleepless night. Is anybody surprised that about an hour later after I woke up, like 6 a.m., I was ready to go back to sleep, so I went back to sleep, and I kind of missed church, but yeah. And then about 2 o'clock I needed another nap, so not surprised at all. So there you go. So now that we're officially into the WoW content, I'm going to have a drink and have a cough break, and I will be back to tell you my adventures with the So Raid was canceled this week because of the Super Bowl. Well, only sort of canceled. They moved the raid from Sunday night to Monday night. And Monday night is when I talk to you, so I'm going to miss tonight's raid because I'm talking to you. I love you guys that much. Let's see. Another portion of WoW, if you're still with me, I know some of you aren't, is Dungeons, which is 5-man content. Raid is like 15 to 30-man content, and Dungeons are 5-man content. So with this, my new group, they were running some keys. So a key is for a dungeon on Mythic. Mythic is the hard, so think of the levels as easy, medium, hard, and extra hard. Mythic is the extra hard level of content. In addition to that, you have keys, which makes extra hard even more hard. Because why? I don't know. The goal is to make the dungeon content replayable and still rewarding when you've done all the quests and everything else. It's just added another piece to the end game. Anyway, so I said I have a 4 underwrought that I would like to, you know, nudge up to a 5 or a 6 just to get something nice in my chest tomorrow. So, you know, we did that, and I said I'll be around Saturday. So I was knitting away on my Impressionist KAL on Saturday, and I got a ping from the guys in the raid group, and they said, hey, you still need a key? And I'm like, yeah, let me come on. So give me 10 minutes. I got to get to the end of this row, and I'll be right there. So I got on. Turns out we did a 9. I forget the name of the dungeon. It's the one with, it's like a prison where you break somebody out or you get keys or I don't know what. It's the prison one. I hope there's not more than one prison one because I don't know. Anyway, we completed it. We completed it on time. But I will say, I was the weakest member of this party. So I think that +9 was a little above my skill level. Our top damage dealer, Rogue, was doing 24k damage per second DPS. Who did we have next? We had yellow, we had green. Oh, green must have been a hunter. So our hunter did just like slightly under that, like 20k. And then me, I did 10k. Yeah, definitely the weakest link there, but oh well. I did more damage than the tank did, so that is saying something. That means I was not bad. And I did more damage than the healer, who was a paladin of some sort. I wasn't sure what he was spec'd as. So anyway, there you go. Did some content that was a little bit above my skill level. But I have been had excellent luck with my my drops. So here's my current numbers for all my things. Those 400s and 390s and 395s are pretty good. 385s sucketh not, but I gotta start replacing the 360 and the 375 gears to improve my output. So theoretically I could do more than 10k. But that was a crazy dungeon. I had to move around a lot. I'm a caster class, which means I gotta be holding still to be doing the deeps, but I had to run around a lot, so I didn't do a lot of the deeps. So there you go. All that wonderful gobbledygook. Anyway, that's everything for my week. I hope you had a really good, productive week, and I hope you got to do some stuff that brought you joy. Thank you to everybody who has just subscribed. I saw several new subscribes come through my email. Thank you and welcome. I hope you enjoyed the crazy. Thank you to everybody who has been with us from day one. I sure appreciate you guys sticking around and doing the comments and saying hello. I need to get back and answer a few questions. I did read them. You should see hearts next to some of the stuff. So thank you. Hello. Welcome. Love you all. Deanne, I put your prize in an envelope and enveloped and addressed it, and I put it in my purse. So now the next step is if I can remember to get to the post office, you will have your prize that you won like 100 years ago. So I'm working on it. Haven't forgotten you. Getting there. You know, because that's just me, and I can't be remembered to put one foot in front of the other. It just happens. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all your comments and your likes and your subscribes. I really enjoy getting to talk to you a little bit about all the nuts every week. I hope you get a good week. I hope you get plenty of time to knit or stitch or craft, you know, this week that gives you enough joy to keep on going. Every day does not have to be a dark day, my friends. One step forward, one step up. We can make the world a better place. Just because somebody's politics don't agree with you does not make them a bad person. Maybe talk to them, find out why their views are different, and sometimes it's okay. Anyway, I do love you guys. Thank you for coming back. I hope you get plenty of time to stitch. I hope that frog stays far, far away from you. Hugs and stitches, everybody. Bye.